Good morning. This is Thought for the Day for Monday, 4th January. Today's passage comes from John chapter 1, verses 43 to 51. At first sight, it's a simple story about the calling of two of the first disciples, but it is full of deep teaching about our own discipleship. Jesus calls Philip and Nathanael. The next day, Jesus decided to leave for Galilee. Finding Philip, he said to him, "Follow me." Philip, like Andrew and Peter, was from the town of Bethsaida. Philip found Nathanael and told him, "We have found the one Moses wrote about in the law, and about whom the prophets also wrote, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph." "Nazareth? Can anything good come from there?" Nathanael asked. "Come and see," said Philip. When Jesus saw Nathanael approaching, he said of him, "Here truly is an Israelite in whom there is no deceit." "How do you know me?" Nathanael asked. Jesus answered, "I saw you while you were still under the fig tree, before Philip called you." Then Nathanael declared, "Rabbi, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel." Jesus said, "You believe because I told you I saw you under a fig tree. You will see greater things than that." He then added, "Very truly I tell you, you will see heaven open and the angels of God ascending and descending on the Son of Man." This story occurs right at the beginning of Jesus' ministry. He had just called Andrew and Peter to be his disciples, and now it's the turn of Philip and Nathanael. The first thing to note is that when Jesus called Philip to follow him, Philip didn't delay. Jesus found him, called him, and he followed. Immediately, Philip found his brother Nathanael and told him about Jesus. But when Philip told Nathanael that he had found the Messiah, Jesus of Nazareth, he got a pretty grumpy reply from Nathanael. "Nazareth? Can anything good come from there?" Philip just replied, "Come and see." These words, "come and see," echo Jesus' own words a few verses earlier to Andrew. When Andrew asked Jesus where he was staying, Jesus said, "Come and you will see." And what is more, the first thing that both Andrew and Philip did was to bring their respective brothers to Jesus. So, what can we learn about this story so far? Both Andrew and Philip were sought out by Jesus, not only to become disciples themselves, but also to bring their brothers to faith. They did so immediately and unquestioningly. In the same way, once we have been found by God, it is our primary purpose and joy to share our faith with others, and we can start immediately, without delay. But the story doesn't end there. When Nathanael said, "Nazareth, can anything good come from there?" it was a fair question, as there was nothing in the Old Testament which foretold that God's chosen one would come from Nazareth. Did this deter Peter from going any further? No way. He didn't argue with Nathanael, he just said, "Come and see." Not many people have been argued into Christianity with pure reason, whether it be by clever argument or by deep philosophical preaching or teaching. I certainly wasn't. In fact, arguments can often do more harm than good. It's better to say, "Come and see." See how Jesus has given us life through his death on the cross. See how he can transform our lives today. That's what worked for me. Philip also showed another key trait which we need to remember when we share our faith. He persevered. He kept on going despite Nathanael's initial response. Sometimes, when we mention Jesus, we're met with cynicism, rudeness, or apathy, and that is very off-putting. But we need to persevere. gently encouraging people to come and see, and then let God do the rest. Now, what about Nathanael? What can we learn from his response? When Jesus saw Nathanael approaching, he said, "Here is a true Israelite, in whom there is nothing false." And when Nathanael asked how Jesus had known him, Jesus said he'd seen him under the fig tree before Philip called him. This is a different kind of seeing. Jesus could see into Nathanael's heart. It was customary to sit, meditate, and pray in the shade of a fig tree in biblical times. So was Nathanael meditating on God's promises, or praying for the day when God's chosen one would come? We will never know. Nathanael was longing for Jesus the Messiah, and in Jesus miraculously knowing where Nathanael had been, he was given the proof that Jesus was indeed the Son of God. When we call people to come and see, we can trust that God will prepare their hearts and prompt them to seek him in his own perfect timing, whether immediately or even years later. Finally, the passage ends with the extraordinary promise and picture of heaven opening and the angels of God ascending and descending on the Son of Man. How can we keep such a promise and such a picture to ourselves? As one theologian put it, one lighted torch serves to light another. Let's all be lighted torches at this time of fragility and anxiety, and look for opportunities to spread the good news of Jesus. One way we can do this is to tell people about the Alpha course, which is running online, starting on 27th January. But there are other ways too. So let's keep our eyes, both physical and spiritual, as well as our ears, open to God's prompting, and not be discouraged if at first sight our come and see falls on deaf ears. Let's persevere and then trust in God to do the rest. I hope that you have a very good day.